Hello everyone, I'm Sharon Cease. I'm the Chair of Engineering and Advanced Manufacturing at Blue Ridge Community College. Today I have with me one of our graduates, and his name is Juan Parra. He is the owner and CEO of Legendary Industries. Welcome, Juan.
Thank you, Sharon. It's a pleasure to be here.
So Juan, share with us how you arrived at being an engineer.
So I was going through the programs here at Blue Ridge, and I was going through the machining program, and I actually asked Sharon, for some advice about looking into my future, and she suggested switching over into the engineer, role, and I did. I actually switched over into engineering here at the college, and I graduated and I absolutely loved the classes. They were a great challenge, which is something that I really, really love. They weren't very boring, I was physically, mentally, there, in the classroom. So I really, really loved it. And looking ahead, I thought about it and I'm like, man, this is, I hope that, I can find work like this, sometime in the future. And that's how it all started, so.
So what was your favorite engineering class?
Oh, my favorite engineering class, probably statics.
What is statics?
So it's the study of forces on objects. So I really love that class because it really was a challenge. And the teachers were very, very knowledgeable whenever I was going through it. It was, not only was it a challenge, but it was interesting to see, how statics are applied and in a real world situation with bridges and, doors and civil engineering and stuff like that. So it was really, really neat. I really loved it.
Do you use any of those skills today in your job?
So yes, actually I do. What I do for my company, and that's leading into, what my company actually does for my clients is that I do engineering related, basically anything from design and force analysis all the way to architectural visualization. If a client wants something 3D modeled that they're going to be using in a commercial, I can do that. If they want a desk or something designed and they want to know, how much weight can this support, then, I can do load calculations, load bearing calculations and whatnot for the clients. So mostly I work with companies that don't have engineers on staff. So it's super fun. It's a great challenge. Almost every day it's just it's something new, it's keeping things nice and fresh, and I really, really love it. So it's great.
So what would your typical day look like in engineering?
So a typical day, my typical day in engineering really depends on what client I'm currently working for and what client I'm currently doing work for. So if a client needs, say, something designed, then I could spend an entire day at home, on my computer, working, creating simulations, doing things like that. If a client needs me to, help them build out a house, then I will go to on-site and I will stand there and I will make sure, I will pull out blueprints that I've created for them that they've already looked at, that have been approved, and, basically help oversee that. So it really, that's the other aspect of it, is that the work itself isn't, the subject material, not only is it a challenge, but the physical, challenge is also there. Because sometimes I'm also going out to on-sites and I'm actually helping, clients physically build a structure. Or sometimes I'm sitting at a desk, for a whole day, just plugging away at numbers and designs and seeing what works, what doesn't, is this what the client wanted? Does the architect approve of this? Does this, are these the materials that they want? There's a lot of iterative processes that go back and forth. So, yeah, so it just varies day to day, which I also love, so.
Great, so it sounds like your day it changes from day to day. You get to do different things each day.
It does, yeah, and I love that because I don't think I could ever, sit at a desk and, type reports on a computer all day, because that would just be bonkers.
So share with us some of your, I guess, more creative or what you would call cool projects that you've gotten to do in your career so far.
So some of the cool projects that I've managed to work on, I helped design a client's mansion that it's like a 19,000 square foot mansion that was like super freaking cool, and they actually wanted like a hidden room with I can't tell you where, obviously, but like I got to help design like a hidden room inside this mansion, and it was like a super neat project. Currently, one of the biggest projects that I'm working on is an automated vertical farm. So not only like am I helping design that out and physically actually help build that out, like pouring concrete and like installing, like stairs and steps and stuff like that, but once the building is physically constructed, I'll be helping to build out like all the electrical systems and the, like the PLC systems, and there's going to be robotics and things like that. So I would say that that's probably like some of like the coolest projects. And then another cool thing that I did was that like I helped design like this house in a 3D program that was actually like utilized like in a commercial in California for like this like little like homes, like in the area, but like it was a rendering, like of what the client, like had, like what the client actually like wanted their house to actually look like. So it was a super neat project, because they actually asked me, they're like, hey, what would the house look like if it was like in the Amazon forest? I'm like, I mean,
Wow.
I can do that. Yeah, it's like, I mean, I can do that. So I just like, created like a 3D model of, like a small section of forest and dropped their house into it. And, like they got to see what their house would look like in a different environment. And, but also, I had a client that wanted me to do architectural visualization for them, where I created their house for them. And then I was actually able to go to their current house with them and actually bring like a rig for a virtual reality headset, and the client actually got to walk through their house before it was ever even built. So that was like super neat, like hearing them, like talk about it. So yeah.
So Juan, what do you think the most important skills that one should have if they want to go into engineering?
So I would say that like the biggest skills that somebody should probably have going into engineering would be problem solving, and definitely like an initiative to want to do things. I mean, like to actually like want to, like learn.
To solve those problems.
Yeah, to actually solve problems, because like if you don't like dealing with, it's not that engineering is nothing but problems, but I'm saying that like if you don't like dealing with problems, then engineering isn't for you. Because you're going to find out, as I'm sure Sharon could tell you, that there are plenty of things that are planned to go in a certain way, but they actually don't, So like having like a tolerance for problems and problem solving skills is probably going to be like the number one thing, that and math.
Yep.
I
What
would
about
say-
creativity? Think that's important?
Yes. So, I mean, you could do things by the book if you really want to. I mean, like there are plenty of engineering standards, that are very, like by the book and whatnot. But it's fun to actually like take what you can learn and then apply, like imagination to it. And then that's how you have like some really amazing bridges, like from around the world. That's how you have like structural items like the Eiffel Tower come out, like that has no real purpose, but but it's a beautiful monument, that like that somebody actually created, and they used engineering for that, and that was definitely something that wasn't by the book, So yeah, so I would say creativity is also like a pretty big part of it. So
Well, great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming, Juan.
well, it is my pleasure to be here. So thank you for having me, Sharon.
So if you're interested in engineering, let us know at Blue Ridge Community College. We can get you started down your engineering pathway.